Inside Washington's Museum of the Bible, a single volume that is like no other. The so-called Slave Bible, remarkable not for what's in it, but for what's not.
So about 90% of the Old Testament's been removed and about 50% of the New Testament's been removed. To put it another way, a normal King James Version has 1,189 chapters in it. The Slave Bible has only 232.
Missing are chapters and verses that might have encouraged uprisings. Book of Exodus, redacted. No story of Moses demanding Pharaoh, "Let my people go." Gone is Galatians, and the verse, "There is neither bond nor free, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus." And no Jeremiah, "Woe unto him that useth his neighbor's service without wages."
What they've left in are verses such as Ephesians 6:5, which is the famous verse, "Slaves, be obedient to your master."
Looking at this Bible, it's hard to tell that anything's been taken out of it.
That's correct. I mean, it looks like a normal book. For many enslaved Africans, this would have been the first time they were exposed to the Bible.
A Bible selectively edited to instill obedience, using religion to underpin the horror of slavery. When people encounter this exhibit, what lasting impression do you want them to leave with?
But we want to pass the message on that may this never happen again. The Bible itself is a whole book. It's not one that you get to carve up and use this piece or that piece.
The Slave Bible designed to repress rebellion, but it didn't work. Enslaved people in the Caribbean constantly fought against slavery until emancipation.
I think it's very relevant to understand our history, not just American history, but our African American history, our roots, and how we got to this point.
Mayor?
Yes.
How are you getting along?
Fine, Mr. President. Wonderful. Thank you very much. How are you?
Oh, fine. Are you getting any rest this hot summer?
No, we're not, because we have racial problems here, and I spend about 24 hours a day among them, and that's the only way to keep them quiet. I get insulted, but I don't let them insult me. We just keep on moving.
Goodness. What percentage of Baltimore is Negro?
60% in our schools and 40% whites in the schools, 60% Negroes, and the opposite is just in the 60% whites and 40% Negro population. But they're concentrated, you see, all around the core of the city. We're building a beautiful city right here in the business area, but all around us we have bad conditions.
Could I talk to you on something very personal to me, and that in the strictest of confidence?
Yes, indeed.
I don't want anybody to know it but me and you. I just might have to urge you to come over here and help run Washington for us.
Well, I'd like to think about it for a minute or two.
We have 60% Negroes. We also ought to have some young, able, attractive Negro in the administration. We under this new reorganization, I told him I was going to get the best man in America to run the city. I rather think that I'm going to have to ask you to do that, and I would like to take a young, able, some fellow that could stand some training that was a Negro and put him in as an assistant and let you try to train him to see how it worked out, see if he could ever take the thing over when you got to where you felt up to it. But I'm just afraid I'm going to have to ask it, and it's a lot better assignment than Vietnam, although it's not a very good one.
Yes, could I think it over and talk with some people here?
That could give you fringe benefits, or you could go out on a boat, take some people now and then, and try to ease some tensions and the sports and things of that kind. What's your salary over there?
$25,000.
Well, you can get about the same here. Get $28,500. I know you don't like the thought of undertaking a heavy thing and a new thing, but I just think the next year or so you just got to do this. I just don't think, I think we got to draft you. I don't think you got any choice.
Let me, I have to talk over this naturally with my wife.
I think we ought to have a Negro somewhere in the chain of command, and I think he could carry out your instruction. He could carry out your instruction. He could carry out your instruction.
All right, I'll call you.
If you don't, I'm going to send you to Nang.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I'll call you. Bye.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
Where do you stand, my lions? Are you behaving in a manner that was given to you by the system, by your mother, by your father, and so on? Are you questioning your beliefs, or do you just accept them as being right? Gaining knowledge should not stop just because you feel everything you believe is right. What you have been taught is not all there is, and you have no idea what was kept from you deliberately or by ignorance. Every waking day of your life should be in the pursuit of knowledge alongside whatever you do in your life. Don't be afraid of information that questions your belief system. If your belief system cannot stand up to questions and provide answers based on facts, why do you have these beliefs? Hold tight, we're gone again.